Hi there, folks. Wanted to give you a quick vlog update today from the homestead. Recently I made 3 unfortunate discoveries here. 2 of the issues that I found were due to my own negligence. So in the interest of serving as a warning to you, the viewer, I thought I'd walk you through those issues and show you what's going on. Let's take a look. Now, the first thing I'd like to talk to you about today is propane. Now, propane is a relatively clean source of fuel. From my understanding, it's a mixture of crude oil and natural gases. It's fairly inexpensive, and it's useful for a variety of applications, everything from barbecuing to appliances in your RV to heating your home. Now, Holly and I, that's what we actually use propane for, heating our house. Now, typically propane is stored in airtight metal cylinders. They range in size from as small as a football to as big as a couch, like this puppy. Now, you may look at this thing and say to yourself, boy, that thing can hold a lot of gas, and you'd be right. However, you might be surprised to discover how quickly these things will deplete, especially when you're not paying attention to it. This is where my negligence comes into play. The last time I checked the levels on this tank was roughly about a month ago, and it was hovering somewhere under 40%, a fair amount. Now, the thing to remember about the temperatures a month ago is that the average low was somewhere in the 50s. It wasn't terribly cold. However, the temperatures took a sharp nosedive around 2.5 or 3 weeks ago. Suddenly, my heater kicked into gear and started using a lot more propane. Well, not thinking about it, I didn't remember to check the levels until just yesterday. And when I checked the levels, much different story. We're hovering just above 10% capacity right now. And we've been keeping the house thermostat at around 70 degrees. With the temperatures that we've been experiencing at night, I'd estimate that 10% of fuel would last us maybe 3 or 4 more days. So I called up the propane company, told them I needed a refill, and they said sure. However, it'll be 10 days before we can get somebody out there. 10 business days. So what are we doing about it? Well, besides getting reacquainted with our sweater collections and busting out the old space heater, we've had to turn the heat down in the house from 70 degrees to 62 degrees. We're hoping that by doing that, we'll be able to stretch the remaining 10% of propane that we have left over the next 10 days. 10 business days. The lesson in all of this, I think, is obvious. If you use propane, especially if you use propane for heat, check it often. The second issue is also due to a combination of the cold weather and my own carelessness, and it has to do with these rain barrels. So shortly before we experienced the freezing temperatures I was just talking about, we got a lot of rain. It didn't take long for all these barrels to just fill right up. Now, once the temperatures took a dive, it also didn't take long for these barrels to turn into giant 400-pound blocks of ice. Now, the thing about ice is that while it may form quickly, it certainly doesn't thaw quickly. So when it starts raining again, like it is now, the water that normally enters and exits these barrels with the system I've set up has nowhere to go, so it just drips out over the side, rendering my entire rain barrel system completely useless. The lesson here, I think, is obvious. If there's freezing temperatures coming on and you have full rain barrels, drain them. The third issue actually isn't my fault at all, but is an unfortunate quirk of the house that I just discovered yesterday. I'll show you what I mean. Why don't you come here? I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but you may notice that on the bottom side of our metal roof, which there's no sheathing underneath it, is condensation. Now, I've always been told that metal roofs are desirable. They last a lot longer than regular shingle roofs, from my understanding, and they conserve temperature better. That being said, the thing about metal is that it sweats, especially when you have cooler temperature on one side of the metal and warmer temperature on the other side, aka our house. Now, we're lucky so far in that the condensation doesn't appear to really be dripping. It hasn't pulled up on the subroof at all. but it's just hanging out there against the bare wooden frame slats. And the concern I have is that eventually those wooden slats are going to rot out. Now, I don't really have a solution for this short of changing the entire roof, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So needless to say, it's something that I thought I'd bring up just so that if you are building a house, you're aware that your roof probably should have some sort of layer, some sort of sheathing or underlayment between the metal roof itself and the wooden frame, if you have a setup like that. Something to keep in mind. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. As you might remember, my parents are actually going to be moving in here tomorrow. So I'll certainly have my hands full, and I'll try and update you on the progress of that as soon as possible. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned a few things from my mistakes today. Anyways, until next time, keep warm.